So there's been a lot of buzz about Night Fae recently, and the real question is why? At the start of the expansion and through mythic progression for all guilds and all warriors, everybody was really running Venthyr. What changed? And the reasoning for that is generally Arms was seen as having a lot better execute, and in terms of killing the last boss with Sire Denathrius, execute damage is really important. So a lot of people look towards Arms and look towards Venthyr, especially early within mythic progression, because it just fit better overall with the raid encounters. The other issue is that early on, especially with those world first raiders, they did not have access to the later tier talents that Night Fae has available to them, which makes them quite powerful. Venthyr still does sim a little higher on single target, but that little bit of less damage comes at a cost of a more flexible ability, some more flexible conduit choices, and I've actually been enjoying Night Fae quite a bit. So the reason why I'm saying Soulbinds is we did not have access to these end row talents until quite recently, and by that time the world first race was already over, so Venthyr was the obvious choice to go to. The other thing is Venthyr works for Arms and Fury just as well. Night Fae does not work nearly as well for Arms as it does Fury Warrior. Fury, as a lot of people know, have seen a lot of buffs recently. So because of those buffs, on top of actually accessing these end talent tiers, Fury became really good with Night Fae. Not topping Venthyr, Venthyr still has the edge. However, a more fun and flexible Soulbind and Covenant, at least I've personally seen a lot of enjoyment with it. But like I said, the real power comes within these last tier of conduits. Naya's tools, Burrs, looks kind of weird, but for example, I just did a 14 Mists. I fucked up in this, and I have all of my single target talents. I have my single target setup, and even then, in a single target setup scenario, that talent by itself did almost as much damage as a 226 vial of purification would. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. This thing is crazy good for single target. And even then, when it comes to Mythic Plus, First Strike is also disgusting. Every pack, you get 25% crit per mob for 5 seconds. That's really good. But until we had 30 Renown for Naya and 31 Renown for Corian, we didn't really have access to any of these things. Not to mention the mastery on top of that with Grove Invigoration from Naya is really, really strong. So it all came down to the end tiers of these Soulbinds really being able to show how strong they were and push their way in. The other thing that made Venthyr more desirable, at least on paper, is there was an issue with how the simulations worked with the Massacre talent. As Venthyr, it would reduce the cooldown by 1.5 seconds, and that didn't scale correctly for Fury, at least, with Haste. So it was overvaluing this Massacre talent more than it should have, pushing Venthyr even farther ahead because it is obviously an execute-centered talent. So all in all, the main reasons that Night Fae is getting all of this buzz is because they see a lot of top players playing it, like Saraline Max from BDGG has started topping meters with it. He did over 7k single target on Sludge Fist with it, which is pretty insane. I mean, to be fair, they have really good gear, but these are also very good players. But what these players will still tell you, and I do agree with as well, for mythic progression, Venthyr is still better. As a TLDR, because of the sweeping changes with and buffs to Fury, on top of getting the N-tier Renown talents for Night Fae, which really gives it that heavily a boost, and fixing of Massacre in the simulations, it just makes overall them pretty close. So it just kind of depends on what you like to do. If Mythic Plus is primarily what you're looking for, that's where Night Fae really shines and really shows up. I'll have some other videos showing Mythic Plus Night Fae. I've done pretty well with it recently, and I've really been enjoying it. Ancient Aftershock, while I thought might not be nearly as fun to play with, is actually a lot of fun, and it's pretty good. So look forward to those, and I just wanted to make this little thing just kind of talking about why Night Fae has really kind of seen a resurgence, especially as all of the starting arms warriors from Mythic Prog have started to move over to Fury as their more enjoyed spec. But if you have any questions, let me know. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.